of finding out. Methods of finding out index numbers. Finding index numbers. Okay, the first method of finding out is a simple method, and the next is weighted. Simple index numbers or weighted index numbers also we call weighted. Weighted method, simple method and weighted method. Under simple method, you have two, that is simple aggregate method simple aggregate method, and you have simple average of price relative method. Simple average of price relatives method. Okay. Under weighted, again you have two methods. You have weighted aggregate method and you have weighted average of price relatives method. Weighted average of price relatives method. Okay. So these four are the methods. Which method you are going to adopt? That depends on what is given to you, whether it is anything is mentioned to you, whether to use the simple method or the weighted method. Okay, that depends. You will also have to, if the method is not given, you will have to see what is given to you. Okay, now if you use simple method where the weights are given, okay, then that will be wrong. So depending on what you is given to you, you will decide your method, whether simple or weighted. Again, even if you're doing simple, which simple are we talking about? Are we talking about simple aggregate method or simple average of price relatives? So I will discuss the first one today. I'll discuss the simple one. Okay, let us take an example here. The question is, let us first discuss the simple aggregate method. Simple aggregate method. Okay, that is, we are discussing this one. Question here is, we'll discuss with the help of a problem. Question is, compute a price index for the following by simple aggregate method. Here the method is mentioned to you. Along with this, the data will be given to you. What is the data given to you? So table is given to you here. So you have commodity, you have price in 1986. This is rupees. You have price in 1991. rupees. With the help of these prices, we are going to we are going to find out our index number. Okay. This is given to you. Okay. So you need to find out the index number from this. Okay. Now see, in case of for the simple aggregate method, what we do is we add up the prices here. That is, you draw these columns. The actual way of doing this is you make three columns. You have a column for commodity and you have a column for price. Price in 1986 and you have price in 1991. And you have commodity. You write all that, whatever commodity is given, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, and you copy the prices 20, 30. This is all given in your question here. 20, 30, 10, 25, 40, and 50. Okay, and this is 25, 30, 15, 35, 45, and 55. All this is given. Okay, now see here in this question, the base year must be given. Okay, compute the price, compute the um, price index for the following by simple aggregate method, assuming the base year. Assuming the base year to be 1986. Assuming the base year to be 1986. Okay, so that is what. So 1991, you have to compute the index number for 1991, or the index simply for 1991, assuming 1986 to be the base year. When it is mentioned that 1986 is the base year, you take this as P naught. Okay, and you take this as P1 because this is what we need to calculate the index number of. So remember, whenever you have to calculate for the base year, we take the base year to be P naught. And what you do is you take the sum of this column, that is summation P naught. Summation P naught, if you add, you will get this as 205. And you also take the summation of this, summation P1. Summation P1, this will you get as 175. This is 175 if you add up. And this you will get as 205. So the formula for simple aggregate method is simple aggregate index, that is the index number, simple aggregate index. We denote it by capital P01. Why 01? Because of this P1, because we are calculating for 1991. That's why P01 in this case is equal to summation. This is the formula, summation P1 divided by summation P0 into 100. I simply put the values. It's a simple enough problem. 205 by 175 into 100, and you calculate this to be 117.143. This was a very simple problem on simple aggregate methods. Okay. Now, uh, what we want to do here is we want to discuss the next method now, which is the next method here is simple average of price relatives method. Next method, simple average of price relatives. Simple average of price relatives method. Now let's see what this method is. With the help of a problem. The problem here is, from the following data, compute price index from the following data. Compute price index by using simple average of price relatives. Again, the method is mentioned here. Simple average of price relatives. Okay. Now, this table is given to you. Okay. Commodity and unit. Price in 1989 in rupees. Next, price in 1990 in rupees. What are the commodities? You have butter, kg, cheese in kgs, milk in liters, bread in pounds, egg in dozens, and ghee, I've said 1 tin, in tins actually. So this table is given to you. You have butter for 20, you have cheese for 15, you have milk for 3, you have bread for 2.80, you have eggs 6, and you have 250. Okay, these are the prices, 20 rupees kg for butter and all that. In 1990, what happened? The prices rose to 21. And this price of cheese decreased from 15 to 14. Although nowadays it doesn't decrease, always increases. And 260.00. It's 250.00. This table is given to you. And from this, you need to compute the aggregate of simple aggregate of price relatives. Okay, so let us start the solution of this. Again, here what you will do is you will make the column. This time you are going to make 3 columns are given to you in the question. You are going to make 4 columns. These are your 4 columns. The first 3 columns will be as per your question. Whatever is your question, you will copy that. Okay. So you have commodity and unit. You have price in 1989 in rupees. You have price in 1990 in rupees, and you have price relatives. This column, extra column that you make is called price relatives. Okay. Now, there's one very important thing. See here, the base year is not mentioned, but only 2 years are given. So whenever we are calculating the index number, we always calculate the index number for the current year. So if you see 1990 is the current year, 1989 is the past year. So that is why we'll take 1989 as the base year. Whatever past, if the base year is not specifically mentioned, you will always take the past year to be the base year. Okay, so 1989 is the past year here. So we take that as the base year. So this becomes my P naught. This becomes my P1. And what is the formula for price relatives? It is P1 by P naught into 100. This is the formula for your price relatives. So for butter, you have 20 rupees in 1989. You have 21 rupees in 1990. And you compute the price relatives. 21 by 20 into 100. So this will be 105. This is butter kg. Next, cheese. You write down everything first. Cheese kg. You have milk in liters. You have bread in pounds. You have eggs in dozens. and you have ghee in tin. And this cheese prices, all this is you copy from your question. 15, 14, 3 and 3, 2.8, 2.8, egg 6 here in this year and 8 in this year, and you have 250, and the prices rises to 260. Now you calculate for each of this, you calculate the price relatives. For example, for the first one, butter, I've already calculated P1 by PO or P naught into 100. So this one will be 14 by 15 into 100. This will be 3 by 3 into 100. This will be 2.80 by 2.80 into 100. This will be 8 by 6 into 100. And this will be 260 by 250 into 100. Okay. So this all you find them to be, this you can find this to be 93.33. You can, these two are 100. This is 133.33 and this is 104. Okay. And now what you do is you add up this. That is, you add up this column. What are you finding? You're finding summation P1 by PO into 100. Okay. You add up this, you will get 635.66. Therefore, simple aggregate of price relatives index, simple aggregate of price relatives index P01 is equal to, the formula in this case is summation P1 by P0 into 100 whole divided by N. What is N? N is the number of commodities. How many commodities here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There are 6 commodities here. Okay, so this is 635.66. We have already calculated this. And how many commodities are there? There are 6 commodities. And therefore you calculate this to be 105.94. That is how you calculate the index number by simple aggregate of price relatives. Okay, any question? If you are awake, simple
Yes, sir.
aggregate method. In fact, we have completed a simple method. Now we start with the next method. What was the next method? The next method was weighted aggregate method. Weighted aggregate method. Weighted aggregate method. Okay, let us take an example in order to uh, see what weighted aggregate method is. Okay, let us take this example problem. A family buys quantities of rice, wheat, fish, potato, rice, wheat, fish, potato, and coal. And coal. whose prices are given below. Whose prices are given below in the ratio 3:1:3 is to 2:2. Find the weighted aggregate price index. They have mentioned the method. Find the weighted aggregate price index. Another very simple one. And here this table is given to you. Commodity. What are the commodities given? Potato, rice, rice, wheat, fish, potato, coal. And here base price. What do you mean by base price? Base price means the reference year with which you are calculating the index number and the current price. Suppose they could have given this as your, say, 2010, and they could have given this as your 2006. Then we would definitely take 2006 as our base year, because this is the past year. We have to calculate for the current year, 2010. So that's it. And they have given the prices to be 30, 22, 25, 54, 64, 20, 25, 15, 18. That's what. Okay, these are given to you. Now, how do you actually apply the method? So let us start the solution. In this case, what you do here is we will make 6 columns. Why 6 columns? Three for the columns, three for the data already given to you here. Okay. And 3 more columns in order to find our, in fact, 4 columns will be for the given data. See, 3 are already here, right? 1, 2, and 3 already here. Also, you have the weights here. These are called the weights. The prices are given below, they are in the ratio. This ratio will treat as weights. So therefore, 4th column will be for weights. Okay. So you have commodity, first column. Okay. Next column is for base price in rupees, and this we call P naught. Okay. And next one is current price, rupees, which we call P1. Next you have weights. Okay, for the weights that are given. Next column that you have is for, we make column for PO, this weights, we call it W. Product of PO and W, or P not W. And next will be for product of P1 and W. Now let us list down the commodities. So you have rice, wheat, fish, potato, coal. Wheat, fish, potato, and coal. Okay, and you, as given in the question, you will list down the prices. For the base year, the price was 30 and the current price was 35. Similarly, for here, when you look at the question, you see wheat was 22 and this is 25. This is 54.64. This is 20.25. And coal, lastly, you have 15 and 18. And what are the weights given? If you see the ratio here, what are the weights given here? 3 is to 1 is to 3 is to 2 is to 2. That means the weights are 3, 1, 3, 2, and 2. These are the weights. Okay. This ratio that is given, they are to be treated as weights. And now we will find the products. PO into W. That means 30 into 3. So 30 into 3 is 90. Next, 22 into 1 is 22. 54 into 3 is 162. Next, 20 into 2 is 40. And 15 into 2 is 30. Next, we find out the product of P1 and W. 35 into 3 is 105. 25 into 1 is 25. 64 into 3 is 192. And 25 into 2 is 50. And 18 into 2 is 36. Now you total this. That is, we are going to find summation POW and we are going to find summation P1W. Summation POW is found to be 344 if you add up the numbers in the column. And this is found to be 408 if you add up the numbers in this column. Okay. And now therefore we compute the weighted aggregate index P01. This time the formula for P01 is summation P1W divided by summation POW into 100. That's it. Put the values. Summation P1W is 408. Summation POW is 344 into 100. So this comes out to be 118.6. That's your weighted aggregate method. Okay. Any questions?